do you ever go through a scenario, and again, I'm thinking out loud through this, where I won't necessarily even call it a checklist, where you're going through the print, you're going through the candles, you've seen everything forming, and as it's forming, you're looking at or playing your principles through your mind, and you're like, okay, nope, let's eliminate this, let's eliminate this, let's eliminate this. Do you ever go through like that kind of thought process ever, or is it just let me just see what forms, and then based on that, then I go into my rules and see which responds to this particular scenario?
Well, I'm going to kind of say, no, the rules are always there. Okay. The rules are the rules. They don't change. They're always there. They're constant. Okay. But in terms of, like I said, there's an art form to this as well, and just how my mind is interpreting what's happening there in front of me. I can be seeing it from a couple of different perspectives, like I just said earlier. Okay, so now we got the picture strength going. So now I'm thinking, okay, so we got picture strength. Okay, I'm on the 8, I'm riding 8. Is this going to turn into an 8 train for me? Where do I need to put my stops in at? Okay, oh, well, I said I was going to ride the 8. Okay, then I'm going to apply my 8 rule, right? I got to have 2 consecutive candles break the 8 in order for me to get out of the trade, right? So all these things, all of this is just kind of happening, right? The human mind, I guess they said we could process all these different thoughts, way better than any computer that could ever be made can do. By the way, they talk about algorithms all the time, right? Well, some of the best algorithms in the world that are owned by, Goldman and some of the BlackRock, some of these other places, they're only like, less than 50%. Now they make money because of their management style in terms of their losses, but a lot of them are less than 50% for those algorithms. Okay.
And they're made by humans.
And they're made by humans. They've got to input the data into them in order to tell them what to do and how to perform.
Would it be fair to say, Mr. Tony, that you have internalized your rules to the extent where now it's not just you're doing it, you're processing it so fast in your mind that it's, I'm not going to say automatic, but again, it's really being done in a nanosecond fashion. And as a result, what would, again, taking us, we're going through the practice of doing it right now. You have perfected the practice, and now it's again, now you can
analytics happening right in real time.
I have not perfected anything.
Well, you're farther along in the process than we are.
I'm further along. Oh, and I love that word process. I'm going to talk about that later here too. Also, too. There's something else I wanted to bring up. I had written down a couple of notes, and I'm glad you keep reminding me of stuff, John. Good, keep talking. All right, let me.
Can I ask a question before
Absolutely.
we move on?
I want you guys to ask lots of questions, please.
Okay, so where you entered, I would not have entered. That's why I didn't say anything, because that large green candle with the topping tail, I would have entered on the smaller candle before it. So where you entered, I felt like I would be late to the party. Am I wrong for that?
Who is it? Is this Cecily?
Yes, it is. Sorry,
Okay.
I have a little bit of a cold. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You sound a little bit different. So you said you would have entered on this red candle, the candle before?
No. You see the large green candle with the topping tail? Yeah, I would have entered on the smaller green candle before it, because at that point it was, right there where you said, you had the 20 and the 8 all nice together. That's where I would have gotten in.
That is the perfect place to get in, Cecily. That is the
So I felt that where you entered, I felt personally I would be late to the party and how much was left of this move.
Okay. The only reason that I didn't, well, when I clicked the candle, these had already appeared. So I was already late when they popped up, and I was like, okay, well, what do I got to do? What do I have available to me? I'm not going to miss this trade, So now this would be a great question, because if you take the trade here, where's your first ad? Right here.
Yes. Okay, so since it's an ad, it can also be
if you're late,
an entry point. If you're late,
that's your entry, right? If I miss this, okay, I'm not gonna miss this. You know,
Then
and
can
if
I
I
ask-
got
Gotcha.
this, and if I got this, here's my first ad right here. Okay. I had two ads. I could either add here or I'm definitely have to add here. One of these two I have to add. It's just that when I hit the button up there, these had already popped up. So I said, okay, well, I'll just take the trade here because I was asking you guys, what you guys want to do? And I said, me personally, I'm taking the trade.
Although that preceding
but-
red candle, not that one, that one would have tried to take you out and would have given me the jitters as far as, so I like, personally, I like,
Well, wait a minute, not if Cecily enters here, she's good, right? Because
yeah, at that point, what I guess what I'm looking at, you're giving a whole lot of money back. Yeah, you're good. You're good over that huge, the humongous green candle. But if that second candle over, that red candle over, you're giving temporarily, you're giving a lot of money back, it would appear. Again, I'm sure I'm the only one that feels that way, but
wait a minute, on which candle, John? This one right
that
here?
when you have your pointer on, yes. No, not that one.
This one here.
Right there. Correct.
Okay, but see, this is why I was asking you guys earlier how you guys feel about the 8, because the eight for me over the years has been very reassuring.
Yes, the biggest lesson with this scenario, like John mentioned, he said he would have been scared that he was giving money back. I failed to let candles finish before I let the fear kick in. So had I let the candle finish, right, I would have been reassured to stay in the trade because it only touched the 8. Even though it's a red candle, it's still a bottoming tail, which shows bullish movement.
It's
So
the
stay
weakest
in
of
the
the bearish candles, correct? Yes. Yes.
Hey, this is Iman. I have a follow-up.
Hey, where you been, girl?
Oh, all over the place. That's where I've been, all over. To Cecily's point, that entry at the
Here?
20, go down.
Go down here, this one
Yep.
here? Yeah,
So-
that's a great entry.
Yeah, beautiful entry, right? And what I want to do is try to understand or at least take notes on the reason because we're journaling too. So at that point, we're using the fact that movement was off of the 200 and very near on top of the 20 and 8.
Perfect entry.
Okay, so then that next candle, the one that you actually made entry on, your reason at that time, either to add or to jump into the trade, is more of the whale candle, or what would you call that? Large
No,
candle?
I was just saying when I hit the button up here, these candles had already appeared. So I was going to say,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back and say, okay, I got in back here. Okay, because they were already up. I'm saying, I was asking you guys, what do you want to do? And I'm thinking, okay, I've already missed these. That was the reason why.
I see. Okay, I missed that part.
No, I was just saying, okay, these already appeared. So I'm not gonna go, okay, well, I would have got in back here. Well, yes, if we were going, tick by tick by tick by tick, but we're kind of fast forwarding a little bit because we wanted
Yes,
to kind of for speed's sake. But absolutely, man, this is your entry. Actually, this is your entry right here. There's your entry right there.
Okay, name that. That's the 100%
You got 100%
retracement.
retracement.
Okay.
You're on the 200 and
Gotcha.
you're sitting on top of the 200. You're at or near, and you're on actually the 20 as well.
Okay,
So,
thank you. That helps me
yeah.
with my notes. That's perfect. Thank you.
And at this particular time too, the 8 really, I'm not really factoring the 8 yet. The
Okay.
8 doesn't come in until later on in the trade. But
Gotcha.
the 20, remember the 20 is the star to show the 20 and the 200. Are
Yes.
the two I'm concerned about. Then later on in the trade, we start giving the 8 the love.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up. We'll just do one more click. Is that okay? Let's see what happens. Okay, stop. Let's stop. How do I stop it? Do I hit a halt? Or does it just stops, right? Okay,
Right.
okay. Okay. Okay, so now more than likely I'm stopped out of the trade. I'm out of the trade. I probably didn't make that much because I'm probably from here. Well, let me see. Let me just look at how this thing paid out. Yeah, I'm out of the trade somewhere right in here. So somewhere in that candle, I'm out of the trade. So it wasn't a big trade for me. I wouldn't have made a lot of money, you know. And then let's count the legs real quick. Okay, hold on a second. Let's count the legs. Let's go ahead and clean this up. So let's see what we have here. We got one there, one there, one there. That's it, right? So let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, and it's over, right? There you go. 3 and out.
Now, one question, Mr. Tony. At this point in time, if you were just looking at this stock, how much would you take into factor retracement with that move down?
Oh, this one right here, John, right here.
Yes.
You know what? Remember when I talk about profits and I say, well, you can kind of use it as an art, but I like to make sure that, you know, I at least gave this stock a chance to make me some money.
Right.
I probably.
Oh, I'm not saying you're in the trade. You're out of the trade, but I'm saying if you were looking at maybe getting back in later.
Oh, if getting back in later into this trade?
Right. If you were looking at that as retracement, if you were to, so if you could click on it a couple more times just to see what happened.
Okay. Okay. We're all good here. Everybody understood what happened there? Okay, cool.
Yeah, one question about
Yes,
your exit.
absolutely.
So I know that it'll take experience. I know it takes the finessing and the art comes with it later, more hours in the seat. But when I think about breaking my 8, I would have waited not on that second candle, but that tiny almost doji that was under the 20.
This one here?
Yeah, I know I would have given a lot back, right? But
Yeah.
I think that just trying to go off of the rules that I have written, trying to be kind of mechanical with it, I'm like, oh, I didn't break the 8 fully because I didn't have 2 consecutive under the 8.
Well, you did, because think about this, Iman, and maybe, okay, I want you to, do you see the 8 is this, I've got this darn.
The orange, yep, I got
The
the same
orange
colors
line.
on my chart.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
you see that body, there is body underneath that 8, right? Right
Uh-huh.
in there. There's body underneath that 8 right there.
So count it as the
Nothing.
first.
So
Okay.
that's your first, yeah.
Okay.
Now, if it was just the wick that
Mhm.
that had poked through, don't count that.
Okay.
But when the body, there's a little bit of body, not a bunch of body, but there's body underneath that 8. So that's my first candle.
Yeah.
And then when that second body, when that appears, when I get somewhere in there, I mean, I'm done, I'm wrong, it's over.
Okay.
Yeah, it's over. So, you know, I got in around here-ish, somewhere in there,
Mhm.
and I'm out somewhere in there. So not a lot, you know, I mean, it was a profitable trade, but it wasn't a huge trade. And it got 3 legs, right?
Yeah.
So which kind of confirms, okay, there's 3, there's the transition, I'm out.
Okay.
Mr. Tony, that right where you have the number 3 at that green candle, the big one
Yeah.
to the left, no, to the left, that big candle,
Uh-huh.
after no, as far as my thinking, as after no follow through behind that, and then that top and tail, I think I'd be getting out right there.
Yeah, that would be what I'm hoping that you're thinking about. Now, we're in a whole different, we're thinking a different scenario about breaking the
Right.
8. But yeah, I'm good with that, Ray. I'm absolutely good. If you're looking at that top and tail and you're saying that's enough for me, then that's cool. And you would have more, you would have gotten more out of that trade for sure. But really, you know, Cecily is the big winner because she's in down here. So even if she waits, that's why, and this another great point. And I think this is really cool to be able to point this out. This is why the entry is so important. because you can wait on that 8 because your entry is so good. And then you still have, if your entry's here, you've got this to that as profit. Whereas if you're late, like I was, I'm like here to there. That's all the profit I got out of this trade. If I'm late, this is the exact point I want. This is a great point to make. If you're late, look at the profit you make when you're late versus the profit you make if you're right on time. That's huge.
You got 80 cents profit where Cecily entered versus 25 cents where you entered.
It's a big deal.
3 times the profit where Cecily entered.
Yeah, that's why your entry is so important. That's why you don't want to be late. If you come in here correctly, then you just add it. So you got this and you added that on top of it. So it made it even better of a trade. It's a good trade.
And then if you exit, if you are a little bit, I wouldn't say skittish, but if you're a little bit cautious, then you leave on one of those topping tails, you maximize your profit even more.
Even more, yeah. If you're talking about, one of these, this candle right here, maybe somewhere in that range, you made a little bit more, yeah. But even being conservative, John, and everyone else, if your entry is correct, you're good. And now you're going, okay, I got the first leg, man, I got a second leg. Am I going to get a third? And then you're thinking, now if I got the third, okay, now I got to be kind of cautious here. Maybe you are jumping out earlier. Maybe like, hey, Rich, you talked about on your SPY trade. If I know I got my 3 legs, do I leave a runner in? Am I selling into the strength here and I'm taking some out right here?
Yeah, get stopped out on the runner.
And I got stopped out on a runner?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking profits there. I try to, when I get those green candles that are really stretched out, I try to at least throw, somewhere close to half of my position out. Then I have that benchmark, It's like, all right, well, if it's going to go, it has to go past, my last profit taking. And if it doesn't, then, take what I have. But definitely, definitely grabbing profits on that third leg for sure.
All right. You guys want to do another one? Let's do another stop. Or you guys want to keep going with this? You want to do another one? A different one?
We can take a different one.
I have a suggestion,
Go.
CLF on July 1st.
Okay, let's do that then. Okay, let me clean all this off. And let's get out of there.
There's roughly like 3 trades in the day. So I'm curious to your thought.
Mel, it's called CLF?
Yes, Cleveland Cliffs, CLF.
Cleveland Cliffs, okay. I've never heard of Cleveland Cliffs.
They're a steel company, a mining company.
Yeah, they're basic materials sector, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mel. So we got to go back and change the date.
Yes,
now, what
July
day?
1st.
July the 1st. Start with the time first, right?
6:30 is fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna go 06. 0. And on what day was it, Mel?
Friday, July 1st.
The 1st. Okay. Okay, I think it's gonna start ticking for us. Okay, hold on a second before we get going. How do I pause it?
It's paused.
Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, so we got. So you were asking me, oops. John, what time I come in? I come in around 6, but I don't know, like a lot of guys, oh man, I come in an hour before the market. I'm like, no, I don't do that. Because I'm only doing a few things. You know, I'm doing this for my 10 stocks. You know. My lines are a little crooked. That's okay. Yeah, I'm doing it for my 10 stocks, trying to wake up and slap myself in the face, all that good stuff. And I'm not listening to CNBC. I'm not listening to any of that. I'm nothing. I don't want to hear anything. I just want to look at the chart. I don't want to hear about who's got the earnings. I don't want to hear any of that stuff. I'm not interested. Okay, let's go out of here real quick. And then I hit that, and then I'll do that, and I'll just let the first couple candles. Okay, so we got a green candle underneath our 200 and under our trap zone in the kind of one position. Okay, let's see what pans out here on this first candle. Now it's turned red, now it's turned green. It's green. Okay, 30 seconds have passed. Straight back up into the trap zone. It's kind of filling that gap up because we had some selling that happened at the end of the day, a couple little buys. We're just kind of continuing. These people are saying, man, if I could just get some of this money back, man, I'm gonna sell. I just want to get some. If we just come on, keep coming, baby. I want to just get some of my money back, please. Okay, got another 45 seconds. Oh, and they started to sell when they got some of their money back. Let's see. Okay, 30 seconds left in this candle.
And you can also always go candle by candle by clicking on the calendar and clicking on the time and just going to 32, 34, 36.
Oh,
rather than speeding.
up in here, Mel?
Yes.
Up in here. Okay.
Yeah, whenever you want to just see candle by candle.
Okay, I'm gonna let this one finish out, which is like 5 more seconds, and then let's do that. I think that'd be cool. Okay, so we'll halt that. So that candle, green candle, pretty much underneath trap zone in that one position, which I don't want a green candle there, but that's what we got. Okay, so Mel, you said open this up, right? And then just hit the, would I hit the one, this plus line?
Yes, hit those plus or minuses to
Okay.
increase, decrease the time.
Okay, now I won't be able to put our trap zone lines back up, but if that's okay with you guys, let's just try it. Let's see what happens. Okay, cool. Oh, and then I had to hit go, right, Mel?
Correct.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
You're back at 9:32. You're back at 9:32.
9:32. Okay. 3. Okay. All right. And we're on 2 minutes. Let me just, okay, let's do this. Let me hit 2 at a time. So we'll do 4, and then from now on, I'll hit 2 at a time. Okay. So we're still in the trap zone. Still in the trap zone. Still in the trap zone.
Yeah, she's digging.
Trying to get out.
Cleveland Cliffs is digging.
We'll go 42. See what happens. Okay. Oops.
Were you gonna buy some, Mr. Tony?
Would I buy any?
Yeah.
Yeah, would you scalp this?
Let me stop.
You might want to go back a minute because you see that candle. You might want to go back 1 minute to 9:43 or 6:43.
Okay. All right, so go ahead, John. Tell me something. So what do you think? Well, you saw the other candle, but
Right. Well, I'm saying you need to hit play, Mr. Tony. I can't tell you anything until you hit play.
okay. All right, let's just hit it. I gotta do that first, and I'll hit play. And let's just talk it as it kind of trades out here. And anybody else, please, I want to hear some people chiming in.
Yeah, I have a quick question because I've seen this quite a few times where the stock will come down and then it'll trade through the trap zone and up. And we've talked about how that's like a strong, hard move, right? Do you ever it seems like I would say, yes, we would want to get in right there because it's at the top and it looks like a strong green candle. Is there any part of that you would get nervous in the fact that the move is already so strong going up that you would want to kind of wait it out and see if it would pass maybe those topping tails on the other side of the left-hand side of the trade?
Yes.
What time is it?
You know what the time right now is at 6:43 in the morning.
So that's 9:43?
9:43 Eastern.
Okay.
So Colleen, to answer your question, I don't like this trade. And you know why I don't like this trade?
Is it because it went through the trap zone and it's hitting the top of those, the highs of the day before?
And we're below the 20.
Yeah. And here's the other thing.
And what was that, Donna? Did you say we're below
the 20? The 20 is down there. If you want to take it, yeah.
Oh, I see.
This thing,
It's far away from the 20, you mean?
far away from the 20. Look how wide we are.
Yeah.
And you had asked, I think, John or someone, or was it Richard, asked about the wideness. I don't like that. You guys know I like my trap zone to be like that.
Got it.
I like them like that, because then when I get that one position, when it breaks out and it gets into that one position, I feel like I got a chance to make that move.
Mhm.
What I don't like about this, Colleen, is it seems like the move is already over to me.
Right.
Now, it
That makes
could go
sense.
higher. Yeah, it could go higher. But I just feel like for me, there's so many more opportunities that are going to occur during the course of a trading session. Why do I take this big old wide sloppy, move when I'm really looking for something narrower? I really want to find that narrow one. That's why we see a lot of times, and I showed you guys in those pictures of strength and pictures of weakness, where it's really, I got the 8, the 20, and the 200, and then that really tight zone, that real narrow zone. And that's where we get our biggest moves from. But when it's really wide like that, it's kind of almost a turnoff to me. Is that kind of?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Because I've wondered that, and I get a little nervous. I don't think I necessarily would have taken that trade, but according to the rules, it would be maybe a go because of the green candle forming at the top of the trap zone, at that first level.
I would have been happier had it began here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not down here.
Perfect.
Because remember running that race. Whew, man, I came a long way. I'm tired.
So true.
You know?
And then would that still be since it was the green candle in the trap zone under the trap zone, that's a red flag in itself, correct?
Pretty much. I'd rather that. I want to see candles here red, and I want to see candles here green.
Right.
Yeah.
And so since that one was a red flag right there, that could lead to more red flags within the trade, or is that a bad assumption to make?
No, not necessarily. It's just that, we're just not looking for green candles here. And
Okay.
we know we're not trading anything in this area here. So, how much further is it going to go? It could go to the moon. I don't know. I don't know the stock at all.
Mhm.
But it's already had a heck of a run. Would you agree? It's already had a heck of a run, but it just happened to have that heck of a run through the trap zone that
sure.
my rules say I don't trade.
Although,
Perfect.
Mr. Tony, here's the
Thank
thing,
you.
it only ran,
You're welcome.
really, it only ran 35 cents, 40 cents.
But it's a $15 stock.
True that. True that.
You don't feel.
Yeah, this stock really moves, actually. It really moves.
Okay,
don't
let
feel-
Donna, go ahead.
Yeah, because the 200 is somewhat flattish, and it's supporting the 20 and the 8. 8 look like it's getting ready to cross over. I know you don't do crosses.
No,
but-
no.
and it's still definitely in the trap zone, and they're both in the ticker is far away from it's all the way up there, far away from the 20 and the 8. But yeah, that's the only thing that's kind of comforting if you're gonna try and jump in early.
Okay.
But, yeah, but I don't
I
know.
like, I really like the comment on the width of the trap zone, because it just totally makes sense that what you just said, Mr. Tony, is that from the bottom wick and that green down there and then getting all the way back up to the top, that's a lot of activity before we can even consider,
Taking the
you know.
trade. Yeah.
Right.
Anybody
Yes,
else?
and that reminder of they're selling, all the pre-market, people are selling to get their money back or buying to get their money back.
So a
And
lot
the
of
It's a
that-
great
transactions that
lesson.
didn't get in yesterday or getting in.
Yeah, so Mel, a lot of that was a squeeze, right? Some of that, some of
Yes.
that action was a squeeze.
right.
Okay, so if it goes above that 1557,
Uh-huh.
the high, would you get in then? And don't fall back all the way, all of a sudden, if it doesn't reverse.
To be honest with you, Don, I wouldn't even take this trade. I'm not
Okay.
interested in the trade. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not interested in this trade. Yeah, but that's okay. You guys, I think it was a Mel or Iman, one of you, I'm sorry, I forgot who.
Me?
Okay, so let's let it play out a little bit. Can I fast forward a little bit, Mel?
Yes, because
Okay.
there's like 3 trades in this day, and I want you to get to 7:10.
Okay.
So you can, because it's a big lesson that you try
Very,
to
very
teach us.
specific time right there.
Okay. Oh, jeepers creepers. Okay, so Mel,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, so
Let me
because
get these lines. These lines are incorrect. Let me clean them up for you real quick. But go ahead. You can keep talking.
the tweezer lesson is I needed to revisit, but so I know what's going to happen in the next 30 minutes of this trade, but this is where I want us to assess as a group taking the trade or not, and what people would have done. Because like you said, you wouldn't take the trade going up through the trap
I
zone.
didn't like it, but
Right.
that looks pretty good to me right there. You know,
Exactly.
that
So
excites
now-
the heck out of me.
Right, but it's still before, say, 7:30. And
But we're out of the zone. But we're out of the zone.
okay,
Way
so
up everywhere.
even if it was to run through the trap zone again,
Oh, that
is
went
what
too far.
that's fine.
How do I go
um,
back, Mel? Can I
okay.
squeeze it back?
Yes, you can shrink it. So at the bottom right corner, there's a plus and minus.
Okay, right here.
Yes. You can
Okay,
squeeze-
cool. Okay.
Yeah, the way up and the way down look to be real fun. So
Let me do one more. Okay. Okay. So now this would be more exciting to me right here. And this is even going back into what Lauren was talking about, topping tail at the high of the day. Okay. I do like, you see how this one has a little more body on it as opposed to those candles I was telling you before. See, it has more body to these topping tails. Those I like more. Okay. Of course, these are the weakest of the bullish candles, but these I like more because they've got a little more body to them. No follow through, bam.
it also confirms your point about having to travel too far.
Went
and
too far, man.
through
He
the
got tired. That was a long race.
right. Used a lot of strength, didn't it?
Used a
And
lot
hill
of
was
strength.
steep.
You get to the top and you're like, woo! I don't know if I got any more left. Let me just lay down here in the road and just roll back down to the sidewalk.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna turn around, going back down.
Right, it's time for breakfast. I need. I'm going back to get my eggs and bacon.
All right, so let me do
You can
this.
skip to 7:40 and
Go
we
to
can discuss
7:40.
the
Okay,
curry.
we're gonna go. Or I can just do it like this, right? Too. I can just go 7:40. So, because something happened at 7:40, so I'm gonna put it at 7:39 now.
Okay.
All right.
It's basically the completion of that.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Scroll left so we can see the start of the day and that difference.
When you say scroll.
Oh, so at
left,
the bottom, yeah,
this
scroll
little deal here.
left. Yeah, there you go. So you can
Okay.
see the V shape,
Wow.
that pivot, a reversal basically, right?
Man, look at that. Hey, I've been looking at this thing with the topping tail too. And I've seen some really good price action off of that. So I'm really thinking about incorporating that into what we do as well. So kudos to Lauren on that one.
Yes, I've been
I
seeing
highlighted
this
that.
trade a lot. This happened, or not trade rather, but this movement a lot at the start of several stocks I watch in the morning,
Are you
Sometimes they're even narrow.
are you taking the trade, or what do you?
I have taken one. I took this trade. I took the down. I
Okay,
took a put
short.
on this after it hit the high, broke the 8, and then I wrote it to this point because it shifts at this point, going up again for the rest of the day.